what point did you know he'd been killed?
I wanted to believe he was alive until the end, she says. It wasn't until the Saudis confessed they killed him that I acknowledged the horrible tragedy of what had happened.
There you hear Atici Cengiz, who was the fiancée of Jamal Khashoggi when he was murdered by Saudi operatives. And we're joined now by Khashoggi's friend and colleague from the Washington Post, editorial page editor Fred Hiatt. Fred, thanks for joining us this morning. Your editorial page wrote that President Biden is essentially giving the Crown Prince a pass. What more should he be doing?
Well, hi, George, and thanks for having me. I think the question is, what can you do so that the next time MBS or another would-be butcher like that is thinking about doing a heinous crime like this, we'll stop and think it's not worth doing. And so far, the calculation for him is, he's paid a price, and the release of the report last week was a good step forward, but it's not a sufficient price. Biden's own Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, last week said that those responsible for the reprehensible murder of Jamal Khashoggi must be held accountable. We now know that the man most responsible is the Crown Prince, and he hasn't yet been held accountable.
As you know, the administration is trying to strike a balance. In the words of Secretary of State Blinken, they don't want to rupture the relationship. Even you in your editorial page acknowledge that we need Saudi Arabia's cooperation with counterterrorism, with the stability of global oil markets. Can we afford to rupture the relationship over this?
Well, two things about that. First, I think this was a missed opportunity to rethink the alliance. And how important is Saudi Arabia now to the United States, and why? Why are we making an alliance with a dictator who is making trouble in the region? But even more, there's a bigger issue here going on all around the world, which is dictators like MBS and Putin and Xi Jinping are not only repressing their own people, but they're reaching beyond their borders to harass, intimidate, kidnap, and assassinate. And it's a way of striking fear at home and abroad. And if the United States and its fellow democracies don't stand up against that, then we're going to live in a world where nobody feels safe anywhere, not even inside the borders of the United States. I would say that's a more important principle even than the alliance with Saudi Arabia.
Jamal Khashoggi was a brave journalist, a valued colleague of yours at the Washington Post. What should our viewers know about what he was doing and why he was murdered?
He was a brave journalist, as you say. He really had the interest of Saudi Arabia at heart. He didn't even want to be seen as a dissident. He wanted to believe that the Crown Prince, on the days that he talks about reform, really means it. And he believed that the way for Saudi Arabia to enter the modern world was to let its own people speak freely and act freely and live to their potential. Why would the Crown Prince kill somebody like that? It shows how afraid he is of his own people. And it's like a crime boss who says, if I can get away with this, kill a Washington Post columnist who's a Northern Virginia legal resident, then I can get away with anything, and everybody will be afraid of me. I think there are things the United States could do. There's travel bans, there's asset freezes. We had an op-ed a couple of years ago by Lee Bollinger, the president of Columbia University and a legal scholar, who said that there are ways the United States could charge MBS criminally. Now, that wasn't going to happen when you had the Trump administration with Mike Pompeo and Jared Kushner and Donald Trump fawning over this murderer.
Fred,
but now maybe it becomes possible.
I'm afraid we're out of time. Thanks very much for remembering Jamal Khashoggi. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.